Hey there, this is Rob from Southgate Media Group. The following podcast was recorded during the SMG Podcast Marathon at Indy PopCon 2018 in Indianapolis, Indiana. This podcast marathon was 10 hours long and featured 19 podcasts covering a wide variety of geek-centric topics. Before we jump into the episode, I want to thank our amazing sponsors for this SMG Podcast Marathon. Without you, it would not have been nearly as cool. Links to our sponsors can be found in the show notes and at our website, southgatemediagroup.com. First of all, thank you to Tango Comics for the exceptional event poster. Thanks to our banner sponsors, Passionerdly Podcasts, Tome Travelers Podcast, Kinda Nerdy News with KJ Podcast, Movie Madness Podcast, Ed Maudlin and the Maudlin Realty Group, Very Dark, Very Quick Podcast, Advanced TV Herstory Podcast, Seriously? Let's Play Podcast, Dice Voyeurs Podcast, The Masks of Nythralothtop Podcast, The CritShow Podcast, The Amazing LARP, Chronicles of the Realm, Midnight Matinees Podcast, The Blue Box Café in Elgin, Illinois, Otherworld Theater in Chicago, Illinois, the This Week in Geek Podcast, live at the Blue Box Podcast, the Binge-worthy Podcast, and SMG Micro-Cons. A special thanks to the Bonus Hours Podcast Network for sponsoring our free charging station. There would have been a lot of dead devices without your support. And finally, thanks to the sponsors of our program, the Bonus Hours Podcast Network, featuring the podcast Between the Profound and Profane, Kinda Nerdy News with KJ, The Crit Show, an actual play podcast, Very Dark, Very Quick, the podcast, Passionerdly.com, featuring the podcasts Dice Voyeurs and Tome Travelers, the Kevin Long Show podcast, and finally, the upcoming book, Pod Life, Podcaster Stories. And there we go, the plugs are done. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the League of Geeks, 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. Special episode that we're doing here in June. But
the spookiest of months.
It is. It's very scary. Before we get into our discussion topic today, what we like to do here is every day for the month of October. That's why it's 31 days, not 30, Rob. We like to release a horror movie review for the month of October, to celebrate our love and passion for the horror genre. So, with that, Chris, would like to introduce yourself?
That was so smooth.
I know. It's been a long day.
My name is Chris Mao. I am the co-owner of Blue Box Cafe, co-host of several shows, including This Week in Geek with You on the Southgate Media Group Network.
And I'm Rob Southgate, and I'm rarely ever on This Week in Geek because I'm busy. But I'm on that show, and I'm on this show. Am I on this show? I'm on this show once in a while.
Yeah, you join us for a horror. You join us for a horror review here and there.
Contributing ad
yeah, I don't know. I do stuff at Live at the Blue Box, and I'm on all sorts of shows. I'm on Cuckoo for Who, and I think that's it.
All right, sounds
Southgate
good.
Media Group. Buy our stuff.
Buy it now.
Yeah, it's got an S at the beginning for savings. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love the Southgate Media Group.
That's for savings or something else.
Yeah. So today we had drop a trailer for the new Halloween film, and let's just go. I just want to go around what you guys' initial thoughts on.
So you and I watched it together. And
we did. We were hugging, and
we were both very excited and not in that kind of way about the trailer, I thought. And Rob and James were watching.
I was excited in that kind of way as well, but I was also excited for the trailer.
Can you believe that?
I can.
Come on, it's me.
I thought the trailer was amazing. It's funny because I interviewed Sandy King Carpenter, and we talked about this reboot.
Shameless plug.
No, but we talked about this reboot, and I asked her what she thought because the Rob Zombie ones are pretty polarizing. People seem to like them, but then a lot of people can't stand them. She said it was a different take, but when I said, what do you think about this? And she said, She goes, I think people are going to be surprised. She goes, this one really fits John. And this one really, I guess Jordan Peele is director on this, or he's a producer or something.
Danny McBride.
Okay. Really? He's directing?
No, he's producer writing.
She said they really, truly understand what John was trying to say with the first movie. And we talked a lot about horror movies in general, like that if it's just slashing, that's one thing. But John's movies have a point, right, and a very poignant point. And she said this one gets back to that. I thought this trailer looked amazing. And my God, that scene with the closet is the scariest damn thing.
But that's straight out of
But that's scary
1978.
as hell.
But the thing is, as a viewer, you know that's coming. After the first time you do it, you're like, it's there, and you're still like, oh my gosh, it is literally. I would bet it's blocked the same exact way.
You know what
I would
it was?
almost bet it is.
You know what it was? It was. You ever hear the interview Truffaut did with? I think it's Truffaut did with Hitchcock when he talks about the bomb, and he goes for directing. He says, I put a bomb under the table and I show the bomb, and the audience knows the bomb is there, and I might make that film go on for 5 or 10 minutes and never blow up that bomb, but the audience the whole time is watching it.
Sure.
That's how I felt with this. I'm like, he's in that stupid closet. They didn't show us that he was there, but we knew. 100%, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a jump scare. It was the best jump scare. Loved it.
Well, it's the legend precedes the work. I mean, and it's you're looking for those kinds of things. I mean, when he steps out and runs into kids, that's exactly out of the first movie. And one of the first scenes where the kids are running around trick or treating, and they run right into him, and you're like, that was the scariest thing. I mean, I was 13.
The kid drops the pumpkin.
Yeah. How about that great thing when they show him the mask? And obviously that's him, and he's chained up. Why they're bringing him the mask, I don't know.
See,
but that was a great visual.
I don't think that was him going nuts. That was the people that were in the yard with him, wasn't it?
They were the ones going nuts, but why did they bring it to him? They had him chained up out there, and they showed him the mask. That was him, right?
Well, it wasn't him in the mask. Yeah,
it was him. It was him in the middle.
It was him in the
middle.
All
the other inmates.
But why?
You can see that there was black yellow around him. Like he had everybody else was chained up. It was like exactly. But it was like that one square. It was like really, really, really creepy. And
that was Hannibal Lecter, kind of. Where you can't go past that to get in Europe.
It was great.
I think they explained that later in the trailer because the guy's like, I don't believe in the boogeyman. I don't believe in that. And so he is trying to debunk that.
Oh,
he's
you
nuts.
think that's what he's doing?
I think that's what it is because they have to set it up that way.
Maybe he thinks that this whole thing is fake and it's but maybe he doesn't get him out. But maybe
I love how he goes right to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, well, that could be part of the beginning. But maybe he gives Michael Myers that mask, and at that point it triggers.
Yeah,
and that's why we get a similar scene with the escape. We get a scene with the gas station bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's mirroring the original Halloween, and I love that. And
it is, but it doesn't feel like a retread. I mean, it's like it feels like the right thing to do.
No, and then you see Jamie Lee Curtis, and then she's even talking like she's been preparing.
Yeah. I love that they show the mannequins, and she's been taking shots at him. How about that shot when she shoots up at the window at him, and you're like, she just shot him, and he's still standing there, like.
Well, I don't see. That's the thing. I wonder if that's a visual trick. If she's seeing it now, like remember it was in H2O where she starts seeing him.
So is this a legit sequel to that?
Because it doesn't make any sense if it is. This would be more than likely, in my opinion, I think a legit sequel to Halloween 2.
I think so
that's
too.
That's what I was thinking too, where it would fit in.
Yeah, because 1 and 2 happen on the same night. You know, it's Halloween night, and then it's after midnight is where the hospital. All that stuff happens with the hospital on Halloween 2. And
after that, it goes off the rails.
H2O
was a fun movie.
H2O. I mean, I did really like it.
It was good, but it wasn't. It was kind of like, hey, we're going to take the idea of Halloween and then make it into this movie, don't you think? I mean,
it was good. It was good, but the rest of them are just they're I watch them all, but really 1 and 2, and 1 is the best one. 2 is really good if you watch it with 1.
Right, yes. Like I can't watch 2. I can't just pick up a day and say I'm going to put in Halloween 2.
No, it doesn't work.
It makes no sense.
But you watch
with 1 and 2, then you're good to go. You've got 3 hours.
This might be the perfect bookend.
It might be.
Awesome.
You know, like horror movies do that very well. And I was giving it H2O at this point, 1, 2, H2O, as a nice trilogy because they do these weird out of order trilogies. If you look at A Nightmare on Elm Street, I go like 1, 3, and then New Nightmare.
Right, I agree.
It's like a trilogy, and then
that's actually the order I put them in too.
You know, Friday the 13th has its own kind of odd trilogy with I think it's 1, 3, and then I want to say like
No, you got to
Who
put
did
2
3 and 4?
because
Who
2
told-
makes sense.
Who directed 3 and 4?
It's-
Because 2 was John Carpenter again, right?
no. Carpenter produced 2 and did the music. He didn't direct.
But it was still his story.
He was
wrote
yeah,
it,
he
right?
was part of it.
He was
still
part of it.
involved.
But 3 and 4 are not him, right?
Well,
No.
three was not even a Michael Myers movie. 3 was Season of the Witch,
Right.
That was a different
then,
movie altogether, and they labeled it Halloween 3.
which is still
Still a good movie. I actually
one
like
of the
it.
funniest little captions. I actually make my kids watch that.
I like
They're
that
out
one,
there. They'll know that. You know.
It's not great, but I like
8
that
more
one.
days to Halloween,
Yeah.
Silver Shamrock. I mean, I love that. I play it every Halloween. Like even in the car, I'll play it. Like I'll have to drive them to school, and boom, I'm playing that.
And then the cop walks up and says, "Hey, buddy, 100 feet from this school."
No, but I'm really excited for what Danny McBride and his group here. This might be. I mean, like we've had 2 known comedians with Peele and Krasinski making 2 really good horror films
Right.
the last 2 years. And now you've got McBride coming in here with his group and doing Halloween. I mean, I'm thinking.
I swear I
they've
thought
got
Jordan
something.
Peele was involved in this one.
I don't know. No, he's not.
I think he might be a producer or something. I swear to you. I thought I had read that. But
Martha's
I'm
looking
excited.
it up right
Yep,
now.
Martha's looking it up.
Filling in for one Southgate. Is Southgate.
So, are you guys horror fans?
Yes.
Did you guys see the new trailer today for Halloween?
Oh, you need to.
That's what we're talking about, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It's going to own you.
Did you enjoy the remakes with Rob Zombie?
I did, more or less.
That's the reaction that I
Jeffy-
have too. This is going to be the opposite reaction, at least the trailer.
My thing with that is like I remember going to the theater to see the first Rob Zombie remake, and I left the theater. I was like, hey, you know what? That was pretty good. I like it. It seemed like a love letter at some points, but then like when I go back and I watch it at home and I'm watching it, kind of dissecting it, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't like what he did because you know the thing that to me with the character of Michael Myers, what scares you the most is he is the boogeyman. There's no reason for him being that way.
Right.
Rob Zombie's like, well, he's this way because
So much
he had an
exposition.
abusive family. He, his mom was a stripper, and all he was picked on at school. And it's like, we've seen that movie 1,000 times.
Sure.
You don't need to make that Michael Myers now.
Right.
Like the scary thing is, like, I love the opening in Halloween in that one shot with Carpenter. You see this cute little kid,
Who snaps?
and he snaps, just kills his sister.
But
and
the
it's
best
like,
part is you don't see the kid for like till
yeah,
5
until the
minutes
very-
in.
Oh, that I mean,
So
if
you
you're talking
see
what he
sitting
did as a
with the mask.
director, it's top notch.
Yes.
That whole thing with the mask and you.
And the eye holes, yeah.
Oh,
and
did
that's,
you catch in the trailer the PJ Souls reference?
Yes. I
That
did.
was great. I want to know, is that somebody sitting there like a ghost, like PJ Souls, or did he set that up? Like because I have a feeling he's rebuilding the night.
And that's what I'm wondering because like a lot of the scenes felt like that first
Yes.
one, and maybe he's doing that to torture Jamie Lee.
Yes, I wonder if that's it.
Or does Jamie Lee set it up to?
Is Busta
get
Rhymes
him-
in this one?
Yes, he jump kicks Michael Myers at the end of it.
And he raps really fast. And he-
Well, maybe Busta Rhymes and LL Cool J were both in Halloween.
I know.
movies.
I like H2O. I thought that was good.
H2O is nice.
The other ones, the 3, 4, 5,
Well,
7,
4,
8,
5, 6. 4, 5, 6 was its own trilogy.
Yeah, and those are. I mean,
With
they're
Jamie.
they're not good.
Niece.
Yeah,
no,
they're all right.
I didn't see the Jordan Peele in it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm wrong.
Clearly,
You know what I have to say about that? Get Out. I thought he did.
terrible.
Terrible.
But no, I do. I mean, to keep this going here with that, like that other trilogy with the niece. That's the other part where it fell apart. Again, when you're trying to give a backstory to
Yeah.
Michael Myers, making him part of this druid, the cult, and everything, like it just doesn't work. When he's
Right.
the scariest is when he is
The boogeyman.
the shape. Yeah,
Right.
he is.
That's all
nothing.
he is.
He is just a killing machine. I mean, he kills a dog in Halloween too. mean, come on, that's terrible. Chokes a dog. Who does that?
Doesn't he do?
It was Air Bud too, which makes it even worse.
Air Bud, yeah.
Air,
I thought it was in 2. Was it?
Now he's lack of Air Bud. Oh, come on, that was a good one.
It might be 2 because I'm getting it kind of confused.
Well, because they sat the same night, so. I think it's 2
I thought
because he
there
goes and kills the old lady, and I think that's part.
So is this the subject of the show?
Halloween.
Oh, we're talking
just.
I didn't know what we were doing today.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
we're just talking Halloween.
We decided to talk Halloween because the trailer came out.
I was all set. You were going to do 80s horror. I was like,
you know what? We still have 10 minutes.
Let's do 80s
we can keep
horror.
going in 80s horror.
Yeah, I want to do 80s horror.
All right.
Because I want to know what. Because I love 80s horror. I know you're a big 80s horror guy.
I think 80s horror is the best horror. 80s horror.
80s
I do. I love it. I love it. Chopping Mall. You guys remember Chopping Mall? Now, Chopping Mall is an interesting one because that was so bad, and it was on cable, and I'd watch it every time, and I thought, who's going to know what this movie is? Do you know, it toured again recently. It was at a theater downtown. It had a packed house watching Chopping Mall.
That would be downtown.
Yes, downtown Chicago.
Bad horror films stand the test of time.
They do. I love them.
They're bad all the time.
Even Deadly Friend, which is terrible.
Well, I mean, they build these cult followings. I mean, I know a movie that we all love, but if you really take yourselves out of it and look at it, like Reanimator, it's really not good, but we love it.
No, you're wrong.
I mean,
that should have won an Oscar. I love that movie.
An Oscar
Oscar
with a
Wilde.
K?
Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, and that should be our Twig Awards.
But
This should be Oscar Wiener.
There was that run of movies, and unfortunately, John Carpenter was involved in a couple of them that were so bad.
No. You're thinking of Wes Craven.
No. I'm talking about, but like John Carpenter did
terrible.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Shocker.
But I'm just saying, it was so bad it was good. Toxic Avenger.
No.
Horrible.
No.
That's
that
trauma.
It wasn't great. It was awful. I recently watched it. Toxic Avenger.
I know, but you can't go back 30 years at the time. It was horrible then, but it was so bad it was good. It's so good. Shud.
That was
Shud.
the Room of its day.
Videodrome.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I watched Toxic Avenger as a kid.
And
I don't know how my parents allowed that. Like,
because they had an animated show and they tried to market it to kids. They had a toy line.
Right.
The animated show stuff came up after.
it was a
Toxic
dude
Avenger
in
was
a bag green suit running around.
You saw
was
it then?
fantastic.
Yeah, I saw it when I was 6-7 years old.
Wow.
And then I watched it recently, and I could not
Somebody
believe.
called
Oh, no,
DCFS.
it's
It
horrible.
might
I
be
could
a
not
little late,
believe how
but
much
let's get them
nudity
on
was in
line.
the Toxic Avenger. I'm like, I don't remember. You know, I'm like,
Adrian Barbeau, God bless.
Well,
yeah, that's in Swamp Thing.
Swamp
Adrian
Thing, but
Barbeau. That's yeah.
I'm a nudity savant. I remember
So,
everything. that
80s
happened
horror
there.
fans, are you?
I mean, like as much, I guess, as anybody.
Yeah.
A couple kids got me to stumble in here. I'm just listening.
All right.
That's all right.
Return of the Living Dead. That's an 80s. Oh, that's a great one. How dare you?
That's
I
one
can
of
tell
my-
you're going to go,
No, that's actually one of my favorite zombie movies.
Me too. Send more cops. I love that.
I mean,
Dude,
it's
so bad. It's so bad it's good.
because
It's
it doesn't take itself seriously. I mean,
Right.
I respect Night of the Living Dead.
I went to a drive-in to see it in the last couple of years just because it's Night of the Living Dead, and I will go anywhere to see that. It's a drive-in. What a great movie.
What's up?
So, what's the worst 80s horror movie that's not so bad it's good, that's so bad it's super bad?
Street Trash.
What's it called?
Street
I would
Trash.
say Chud.
Toxic Avenger might get it, but Street Trash.
I don't think Toxic Avenger is a horror film.
No,
though.
it isn't. So Street Trash, trust me, it's horrible. Except it has a great scene when a homeless guy who has taken the street trash in, that's killing all these guys, sits on a toilet that's like in an alley, pulls. You know how they had the old pull things? He's in an alley with a toilet with a pull chain, and he dissolves and flushes himself to death. That was pretty great. Yeah.
The description says a case of contaminated alcohol has a debilitating effect on the vagabonds haunting the streets and junkyards of Brooklyn.
It's the worst movie. Actually, you want one that's worse? Now, this is not a horror movie. It's just a horrible movie.
The Rob
It's
Southgate
called,
story?
it's called
Garbage
It was
Pail Kids?
originally called,
Oh my God, that's horrible.
that's a bad one. But this
you
is
ta-
worse. It was called Vulcanvania, and they changed the name at the last minute to Nothing But Trouble. What a pile of dookie. It's got Dan
that's
Aykroyd.
horrible.
Trouble.
John
It's
got
Candy.
John Candy.
John Candy dressing
That
in
is
drag.
a
It's awful.
horrible
Chevy
movie.
Chase, Demi Moore.
Demi Moore is in there.
Yep, Dinty Moore, yes. That is a horrible
Tupac
movie.
Shakur makes a cameo.
Shakur is, but that is a bad movie.
It's
That's a really bad movie.
so Dan Aykroyd has. I think
You
Dan,
like that movie?
Wait,
Security.
nothing but trouble?
Really?
I have it on DVD.
Did
I
did
know other
John
people that
Carpenter
like it too.
direct
I hate
No.
that movie.
No.
It's awful.
It's,
I mean,
it is a terrible movie. But
Dan Aykroyd is
I watched it as a
horrendous
kid.
in it.
I think that's
He's
what it is.
horrendous
Dan
in it.
Aykroyd is so bad in that I can't stand it.
They probably said drop acid.
And I
still-
loved Dr. Detroit. So that tells you
Doctor, They
something.
call him Doctor.
I just watched that recently again. I love that movie.
That's
It's
like
so
Warriors
bad.
with Saturday Night Live people in it.
Yeah, so bad.
It's horrible.
What were you saying, Lil? Is this your show?
Is that the 80s?
I'm enjoying it. Is that the 80s? So
No, I'm just saying. So it'd be, but the 80s,
I think that was
the 80s.
Chud
had the-
was bad.
The 80s had the run because is Leprechaun 80s or not, or is that 90s?
That's 90s.
Leprechaun started in the 90s.
So then Child's Play's 90s.
88 was the first.
88
one.
was the first one, so they had like all the
But that's
see,
not bad. That's a
see, the
good
thing
one.
with Child's
Play 1 is really good.
No, Child's Play. See, I disagree.
It's
I-
not good, but it's
None of the
not,
movies are good.
It doesn't fall into the category of street trash.
No,
it's not
no,
that bad.
Chuck, the first
Yeah.
one is it's got some kind of plot, which is better than. a lot
I
of
watched
those
a
movies.
movie.
Oh, that kid!
the other day.
I wanted that kid to get it. I hated that kid
Is
in
that
that
Batman
movie.
versus
He's the
Superman?
worst.
Or
Batman
He's the
versus
worst. He's the
Superman
Jake
might
Lloyd of
be
his
the scariest
generation.
movie.
How's that for a shot at Jake Lloyd?
What?
The kid in Chucky.
He loves Jake Lloyd. But Batman v Superman, yeah, that's great. No, but I watched a movie called Zombie Vampire.
Why'd you say that name? What's
I don't
that?
know why I watched it. I was flipping through something and it was on. I read. The
I'll tell you why you
synopsis,
watched it, 'cause it said
and
zombie vampire.
It was a cop turned into a cyborg fighting zombie vampires, and I'm like, okay. let's
so we've
turn
just
this on.
started at
Was he
4
a-
stars. Where does
was
it go from there?
Was he a computer hacker too?
It was the
'Cause
worst
was-
thing I've ever seen.
Just throw everything at this.
And a blog and a podcaster.
I mean,
There's a podcast.
Seriously.
The robot cop, because like in the movie poster picture of it, it looked like a RoboCop suit. And then when you look at it, it looked like, remember like in the 80s they had the laser tag game. So you had that little helmet there, and it looked like they just put aluminum foil over his face. And he was
Is he
just walking
really
around with
talking
a
any of
vest.
us out of this movie? I'm like ready to watch it.
You can watch it free on Tubi. It's an app, and it's you can download it on Google Chrome, Fire Stick, whatever, and it's on there. It is horrendous. And these zombie vampires are Japanese, and
What's
they
it
like
I'm telling you, he's not talking me out of
zombie
any of
vampires.
this.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Zombie
Is
vampires.
Godzilla in it?
No.
So what's like the best 80s horror we've like never heard of?
Never heard of.
That I've like never heard of. I'm not.
How dare you come up with better questions than we have?
Have you heard of Video Drone? Video
Drone's good.
So it's videotape infects your machine, and it's fantastic. It
But this
melts.
is way before
like
The
if you ever
Ring.
did drugs in the 80s. Yes, exactly. But it's Video Drone is actually a really, really good horror movie from the 80s, I would say. One of the ones that didn't get a lot of play.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot that become cult classics, so I don't know. But like Evil Dead 2, to me is one
Yeah,
of my
I mean those
favorites.
are, but those. I mean, it's like
But
Reanimator
it's
to
a
me is a
cult classic.
touchstone.
But you've heard
So
of
when
that,
when
though. I
you
don't
say
think
what's
there's a lot
one we
of
haven't
people
heard
that
of,
have heard of it.
there are a lot of people that when I say
telling you, there's
Reanimator,
not.
they have no idea what that
Evil
is.
Dead 2 is
It's the best movie ever.
What,
I
Evil
love
Dead
it.
2?
I love
No,
Reanimator.
Reanimator.
I love that movie. I saw it in the theater when it came out. I loved it then. I've watched it 25 times. Every time I'm like, this is a brilliant movie.
But it's so
It's really
so
campy. It's high level
good.
camp, high
It's-
level like the
on,
gore and
yeah,
it's not-
it's all
it's
know,
not
practical
scary.
effects.
It's
not
just good.
good. It is. It's very good.
I
Anybody
mean, the main guy, the doctor that reanimates these things, he's a younger guy. His name is Herbert West, and it had this amazing poster. I had a giant movie poster in my room of this. It was him, and it was it was this headless. It was a headless guy with a tray with his own head in the tray, and it said, "Dr. Herbert West has a good head on his shoulders and one in the tray on his desk." I was like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen." I even bought the special edition that came in a glowing green case.
I have that one.
I
It's
love the
amazing.
The
I
lime
love
green
watching
double disc. Like, I felt like it was a Criterion edition of it because it
Oh.
had everything.
I
you
know,
could
I was-
imagine.
I was almost weeping. Shh.
We need to wrap up because
I do.
We
All
do.
right, James, you're on.
So that's
So-
it.
Go ahead.
That's it for the League Geeks 31 Days of Horror. If you follow us on during the month of October, we release a horror movie a day
for 30 days.
For
That's really
31 days, and we have a lot of fun talking horror movies.
LOGK.
I screwed up the graphic, but it's gone now.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, that's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
For updates about upcoming SMG Podcast Marathons, follow us on Twitter at SMG Pods, on Facebook at Southgate Media Group, or go to our website and sign up for our email list at southgatemediagroup.com. Thanks again for listening.